Okay, your first taste of using AutoCAD. If you can do these basic things, well, you have to be able to do these basic things before we can trust you to do them on the sprinkler side. It's even more important that things be accurate and things be connected. What we're doing right now, we have a completely blank CAD space. This is a HydraCAD template. If it's not a HydraCAD based CAD template, our sprinkler side will not work. You'll know if that's the case because when you open the drawing, it will warn you, hey, this is not a HydraCAD drawing. So we're in the file we created in a different video. This is Alan's office, my practice job for you. And what we want to do is take our architecturals and draw this building in AutoCAD. It does happen that we can't get a CAD file, the PDFs won't import, maybe we have scans, or it was something we had to physically go survey and draw on paper ourselves and then bring back. I'm going to show you, we are going to draw this building. And it would take me about 10 minutes to draw this without explaining anything, and maybe another 20 to put the ceiling on. And this is so straightforward. In less than a day's time, this entire building could be drawn and the sprinkler system designed and ready to be submitted. So we're going to drag this to the other screen. You guys will want to have this pulled up too when you're drawing. So first thing is to know where your 0 point is in the model space. If you're not opening up a template that's already been drawn on, it's a little harder to find. But we want to start drawing this building, and we're going to choose the correct layer, which we're already on. But this is your layer toolbar. And when you hit that caret there, you have an option for all of the preset HydraCAD, AutoCAD layers that are built into this. In this case, we're drawing walls, and that's quite literally what it is. When you select a layer, there is a preset default color, line type, and thickness. We'll leave everything as it is, and if you want to draw a line, you can do two things. You can type in the word line, or let's hit escape. You can hit this button right here on this toolbar, and this is line. If you span across, you'll see there are a few different ways you can draw and make shapes. If you hover, you'll begin to figure out what those are, and you can play with them inside the model space to get familiar. But we're going to draw a line, and we want this to start at absolute 0 in the drawing. You're talking XY coordinates and kind of a Z chord. Down here at the bottom, hopefully you can see that says specify first point. Well, since you don't see the pick box, if I hit escape, it comes back. When I enter a command, it's gone. And it's giving me direction, specify the first point. I can left click anywhere in the drawing, and that's where it's going to start. If I hit escape, start it again, left click, it will continue to draw lines until I hit escape or enter and finish it. With that in mind, let's hit the line. Specify first point, we want it to be 0. So I'm going to hit 0, 0, 0, which is X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to hit enter. And now you see it's found the 0 point in this drawing. Next thing you want to do is we're not drawing a square building, rectangular, something with straight lines when the program is drawing at open angles right now. So what we do is you either toggle it with F8, or there is a preset on your mouse thumb buttons. But right down here you'll see Ortho mode. We're going to toggle that on, and you notice that locks so that it can only be perfectly horizontal and vertical. All right. Now our building is 99'9" long and 50 foot 10 wide. So if I'm at the bottom left corner, because this is absolute 0, I'm going to go ahead and start going with 50 foot 10 up, and I simply type in 50 foot 10, enter. I'm going to turn to the right, 99 foot 9, enter. 50 foot 10, enter. Oh, I hit 1. Let's go another 9 inches. Fix that one later. And 50 foot 10 inches that way. Oh, 99. Oh my goodness. 99 foot 9. Takes longer to correct a mistake than to just keep going. Okay, so here's something fun to cover right now. We have this little break in our line that we don't need. I'm going to delete that. And if you notice, if I draw left to right or right to left, our window in the way we select changes. So in order to grab something left to right, you have to pick the entire object. Super useful. You need to remember that. If I go right to left, as soon as I touch it, you can see it's all highlighted. I only want to get rid of this, and then I want to bring these lines together. So I can either select it and hit delete, and then simply pick both of these and pull them in, or let's go Control Z, and we're going to undo what I just deleted. We have a button up here on, this is your basic AutoCAD commands. These aren't HydraCAD special to my knowledge. Right here, you'll see join. You're going to use this toolbar a lot, so get used to it. Join, and then it's going to highlight the section that you touch. And we want to left click on one section, left click on the other, hit enter, and now you have one piece of line. I almost said pipe. It's not pipe. You've got one whole line. Another option, because there are very few things that only have, I went way too far. Control Y will redo if you undo too far. Let me just pretend that didn't happen. Let's go back. Come on, AutoCAD, do me some favors. It doesn't matter how far I go. How about that? Let's pretend I hadn't fixed those already. I deleted that 10-inch section. There's also a tool right here called Chamfer, and there's a tool called Extend. We can drag these together. We can use Join. We can use Extend. We can use the Chamfer button. Chamfer, if I touch this one and this one, boom, they're done. If I undo that one more time, hit Extend, I pick the one that I want it to go to, and then I hit enter in the object I want to actually stretch, and it will bring them together. All right? There's so many ways to do the same thing in this program. Okay, we have the footprint of this building, and just so we can check it against my drawing, 99.9 and 50 foot 10, 99.9, 50 foot 10. Let's start working on the exterior thickness, and then we will get these rooms laid out. So the easiest way to give this the 5-inch wall thickness that this job has, it'll be different on many projects. It might be an 8-inch block wall. It might be block with siding and steel. Nothing's ever really typical. To do this, we either copy or we will offset. And one isn't necessarily easier than the other, but right now, left click on copy, that's this symbol, or you can type the word copy and hit enter. Left click on what you want to copy. Now hit enter, and you're in the command. Now we're going to hit the base point where we want to start moving from. If you notice down here in the bottom, there's always a prompt. Specify the base point. That means it's waiting for you to tell it, where do I start copying? So I'm going to click over here just to stay out of the way. Left click, and now I can move that down and copy it wherever I want. In this case, it's only going 5 inches. So I type the number 5, I hit enter. Let's do it again. Let's type in the word copy, hit enter. I'm going to left click, enter, left click again, and drag it the direction I want to go. Copy, left click, enter, left click, copy the way I want to go. If you don't want to copy, the other tool for this is offset, which is right here. Left click on offset, specify the distance down here. We're going to go ahead and make sure it knows 5 inches. Now it's ready for you to pick the object, and as soon as you pick it, it's waiting for you. Make sure you can see that. It's waiting for you to tell it which side to go. And in this case, we're going inside. So now we have our exterior walls. But what we don't want is this goofy cross. So come up here and click on Chamfer. And then you're going to pick these two with the left click on the mouse, and it will clean those up. You'll get comfortable real quick using your mouse wheel to zoom and pan around. I didn't figure I needed to spend a lot of time on that. Okay, we have our shell. Now let's fill it in. Again, just so I'm not going too fast. Our offices are all 12 foot wide, 12 foot long, and 10 foot wide. On the south end of this project, it's the same thing. 12 feet long, 10 feet wide. How about offset? And let's do our 10 foot dimension. So type in 10 feet, hit enter, and I'm going to click on this and tell it to go south, not north, outside the building. Let's go 10 feet this way, enter, and why not go ahead and start down here with 10 feet to the north. So let's repeat the offset command. We'll hit enter after we make sure it knows 10 feet. And click your object, move it north. Good. All right, now offset 5 inches. And that'll be the outside of the room. Now we've got the start. And our rooms are 12 feet long. So let's copy. Try not to go too fast. Hit the copy command, left click, hit enter, and then pick anywhere in the drawing and left click and start moving. So that first room is 12 feet. All right, now we need to clean this up a little bit. We're going to copy another 5 feet because we have a real wall. I say 5 feet, 5 inches. And let's trim this back. Use the scissors. Don't double click too much. Let's use our scissors. Pick all of this. Let's cut this out. And then right here, we're going to select it all in my window and then pick the pieces we don't want. That's something that you will get real fluid with when it comes to cleaning up a drawing. All right, now I can just keep using these walls. And if I go 12 foot 5, and then I check, I have taken into consideration that extra width I needed for this wall. And we have the first two 12-foot rooms, and we have the next wall. Now what I can do is copy this. Let's enter, and then we're going to pick the endpoint, this button right here. These are called Osnaps. Snap to the endpoint, and you'll notice it highlights right there. Anywhere you're closest to the edge of, it will jump. Use that to your benefit. It'll take some time maybe to get comfortable with it, but let the program do the picking, because the closer you get to what you want sometimes, the worse off you are. Right there, and we're going to slide over and over and over again until we finish this. We're in the copy command. I want to make sure that my endpoint stays on. So down here, this button right there is how you lock your Osnaps. So it's on, and right here you can see the endpoint has been checked. So if I click back in my drawing, I can click to this endpoint every time I copy one. And now I don't have to keep repeating the same command. We have a little mechanical closet right here, but it is only 5 foot wide. It is still 12 foot long. So let's make an adjustment for that. Let's copy, left click, enter, left click, and drag it down 5 feet. And then we need that extra 5 inches, so let's go 5'5" this time, enter, and we can trim this out and have a more accurate footprint. Let's chamfer, and then let's trim. We want to get rid of all these lines that are not broken. We don't want them to look this way for more than one reason. So if I hit the scissor button, I'm in the command ready to select my objects. Always reference down here. Sometimes you'll get lost and it's because you're forgetting there's a prompt. We're going to draw a window and I'm going to pick this section right here, hit enter, and then we can start snipping out the parts that cross that we don't want. There's another way that anything you click on that crosses or touches anything, it will start deleting. I don't prefer that method. Okay, let's go ahead and finish the bottom end, which we also could have done a different way, but I'm going to just copy those from this base point, not this one. From that base point, hit the perpendicular button, and we're going to take these all the way down here. Too many times, perpendicular, and you'll see that lights up. Hit the extend button, left click, enter, left click. Now we have our offices all the way across the bottom of this building. I'm going to grab all of it. It should cooperate. Snip out our overlaps. And I don't know why I always back out of that. Just grab it again. The square that I'm picking with, my pick box, selection tool, that can be adjusted in size. There's a point where it's too large. There's a point where this is too small. So the further away I am here, because my grab box, these are pick boxes, the blue one, because my box on the cursor is so much larger than yours probably will be set. When you have multiple objects in that square, it's harder to pick the exact thing you want. Let's do a little bit, refresh. Restrooms, conference rooms, 14 foot 4.5, 5 foot between, 14 4.5. Copy, 14 4.5. Add 5 inches to that, and then grab this wall. We'll enter that copy command, repeat the copy command, left click, move it to the right, and it is 8 foot wide, and add the extra 5 feet. Let's go back to scissors. And our little bit here. I really hope I'm not moving crazy fast, but that's the benefit of the video. You can slow this down. All right, let's do our conference rooms. 8 foot. There's an 8 foot hallway on this end between the restrooms and the conference room. 8 feet. Copy it, then 8 foot 5. Then the conference rooms are 28 foot 5 long. So let's repeat copy, left click, enter, left click, and tell it to go 28 foot 5. Then there's a 5 foot wall again. So how about 28 foot 10? And then we have 28 foot 5 to the last wall. 28 foot 10. And this 8 feet back here is how the hallway continues all the way around it. Copy or offset. Let's tell it to go 8 foot and 8.5. Copy again, left click, 8 foot, 8.5. And all we got to do is trim out the excess. And our corners, remember, instead of trimming, you can use the chamfer tool. Click, click. And back to trim. All right, our building is there. Next step would be to drop in room labels. Office 1 through 15, easy enough. Restrooms, those are usually labeled with another number, or they might say men's room, women's room. Then we have conference room A and B, and the mechanical room. So to insert a room label, if you look to the left, right here, if we hover, you have a room tag button. We're going to click on room tags, and there are generics that you can pick from if you don't want to spell a word out. We don't have an elevator in this project, but just so you can see that. So let's go back in room tags, and we want to start with Office 01 since we have double digits. If you don't put 01, the auto count will mess up. Auto insert, room number, and now we're going to hit insert. And we want the room tags to be out of the way. So watch how it inserts when I drop it. You can see now where the insertion point is. It's that top left corner. So every time you go to a room, think about where it's about to drop it, and you can save yourself a lot of time in the cleanup phase. Odds are the outside wall in this room, we will not have any pipe or sprinkler heads, and it will help keep things a lot cleaner. All right, now I can go back into room tags and type in the name, or I can just keep inserting this, hit escape. Now I'm out of that command, and if I double click inside of this one, I can just change the name without going back through the toolbar. Copy, and now I've got 2 restrooms labeled. And instead of I just realized I muted the microphone by accident again. I really need that to stop happening. All right, insert our conference room tags, and then we'll fix that, and then we'll rename it. Let's turn off our snaps. That'll keep that from happening now that I'm copying. So left click. Here's how you move things around. Pick anywhere you want. It'll always stay aligned, and we'll drop that in the corner. Double click. Let's say this one's conference room A this time. Double click, conference room B. Tab and enter will jump you out of that window more quickly. And let's call this mechanical. Tab, enter, and now our rooms are labeled. That's probably faster than I wanted it to be. Might be faster than you wanted it to be. But you'll be able to refer back to this, slow it down, and we will, of course, cover these things in person when when you get here. But hopefully this is a lot more helpful because you can refer back, and you'll see from nothing, building something, and having a complete project. So this footprint is complete. The next step is the ceilings, and we will do that in the next video.